So now, as Jan mentioned, we are also doing this policy recommendation work in the project, and now I'm more than happy to introduce Tran Go from VTT. She will tell us more about this topic.
Okay, thank you very much, Pico and Jan, for the introduce to my presentation. So here is this policy recommendation for circular battery. So next slide, please. So a little bit about the context of this task. So it belongs to the Wolfpack one of JSOS project. So we do the circular economy framework analysis, and regulation review is an indispensable part for it. So our tag is tag 1.3 about the mapping of regulation, identify driver and barrier, and from that we formulate the policy recommendation. So next slide, please. So here is the process of our task again. So first of all, we do the data research of the European policy environment, and through that we identify the key driver and barrier for the policy. So with the insights that we collected from our data research, we bring it to the workshop that Jan just mentioned about the stakeholder engagement just before. And yeah, our insights are validated by the stakeholder, and from that information, we formulate the policy recommendation to foster the circular battery transition. Next slide, please. So let me introduce a little bit about the context of the regulation surrounding the battery. So with the development of the battery sector and the growth a lot for the electric battery, so the new European battery regulation were adopted last year. So it's replacing the old one, and it's cover the whole life cycle of the battery, and is the primary European regulation nowadays. So the main objective of this new regulation is it targets to improve the battery sustainability, improve the material flow loop, and also reduce the environment and social impact from it. So some of the key action from the battery regulation is that it have now a new separate battery classification for electric vehicle battery, and it requires some recycle content requirement for the battery, and some safety requirement, and some recovery touches for some critical material requirement for labeling and information, and especially the digital battery passport. Yeah, we next slide, please. So now we will come into the policy recommendation. So the challenge on the right side, I think Matthias already described is in very detail. So we will much more focus on the policy recommendation part for this challenge. So the first challenge we mentioned here is that the battery regulation is drives the recycling over as a higher level circular strategy like repurposing. So because it focuses more on recycling by mandating some recycle content requirement, so it's actually like push the recycling more than repurposing. So to solve this problem, we suggest for the policy recommendation here to implement some quantitative targets for repurposing of end-of-life battery, and we can also provide the incentive and subsidize for the manufacturer to invest in repurposing technology and infrastructure to boost the practice. Also, more standardization to promote the design of the battery that will be more suitable for repurposing are needed. Also, more collaboration between the industry, policy, and research institution to share more knowledge and resources to optimizing the circular practice are needed. So next slide, please. So the second topic is about the safety in the installation and operation of battery energy storage system. So safety is one of the most concerned issue for the battery, cycle-life battery application. So currently there are no standard or regulation to handle the safety assessment of the installed battery system, and also the standard how to design the battery room side, and fire extinguishing also, and also its placement within the building, and how to handle when the accident happen. For example, lithium ion battery are very challenging for fire extinguishing, so we need more standard for it. And so about the policy recommendation. So the first idea here is to establish an European level research program to enhance more knowledge about the battery room requirement and some kind of thermal events. In addition to that, more regulation framework on the standardization and minimum requirement for battery room should be developed. In addition to the risk assessment and installation of large battery energy storage system. And in addition to the technical knowledge, capacity building requirement and training for the maintenance staff and operator battery energy storage system should be implemented as well. Next slide, please. Here is another critical challenge about the non-standardization of electric vehicle battery design. To solve this challenge, so we need more eco-design, more standard for the eco-design for it. And it should include both battery cell formats and battery module geometry and other components. So the which makes the battery difficult to disassemble, like the glue or welding or epoxy should be limited. And a temporary solution should be implemented to enable the access to the historical user data, and the state of health for the battery should be implemented. So the battery passport, including the battery regulation, can solve the problem. But like in order to it to function, like after the regulation had been in operation, it will take several years. So that's why we suggest to have a temporary solution here until spot can work well. And yeah, the next topic is about the incentive for installing the second-life battery energy storage system. So just mentioned, due to the unstandardized the battery design, so it makes the disassemble process very manually, and it's time consuming and also very costly also. So to solve this cost efficient challenge, we should have some incentive from the European and the national government for buying and installing the second-life battery energy storage system. So one example for this incentive can be to cover a specific percentage of the cost related to the purchase and installation of the second-life application. So next slide, please. And the last topic here is about the law and regulation regarding the jetting of used battery. So currently there's a lacking of regulation to regulate the jet of the used battery. An example in Norway is like the jetting of used battery are now done very freely, and it can be even purchased on the online markets as well, without the management. So this can create a huge safety concern and can even lead to the incident that can cause economic loss and loss of life for this unregulated jet abuse battery. So in order to solve this problem, we need to develop the regulation framework to regulate the sale of the battery. And also the certification system should be developed to handle the battery system and the installation. Also, the private person or non-certified companies should be prohibited from manipulating the battery market. Yeah, so that is the end of the policy recommendation. So about the next step for this talk, our deliverable will be submitted very soon and it will be published after that. It's very long deliverable, but we also plan to make a shorter version for the policy brief and white paper also coming up from this work. So if you are interested, please look forward for us. Yeah. Thank you very much.